my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out and reviewing Garden of Vegan. So this is a meal prep delivery service, kind of like My Muscle Chef, which I actually already have a video on. You can check it by clicking the link up here or in the description box below. Yeah, I did review My Muscle Chef. I've also reviewed Solara, which is another plant-based meal prep delivery service. So if you haven't already watched those videos, go and check them out. But this is a new one that I have actually been wanting to try for a while. And to be honest, the only reason I hadn't tried it until now was because it was slightly more expensive than the other services. So I kind of put it off. I was like, oh, like, is it worth it? I don't know. Let me tell you guys, it actually is worth it. This meal prep delivery service is actually so much better than I could have thought. And I didn't realize until I actually tasted the meals how good quality they are. Like, they just taste so fresh and so delicious. And we'll get into the reviews of each of the different meals in a second, but firstly I just want to go over a few points. So in total, this order cost around $150 Australian, which when you think about it isn't too bad, because I usually spend, you know, between $100 and $150 on groceries per week anyway. So obviously I didn't have to go out and buy those groceries. So it's really not that bad, and it's all made for you. So there you go. It's not as expensive as it kind of looks, because, you know, when I'm looking at certain meals, like some cost $14, some cost $15, some cost $16, I think, wow, that's a lot. You know, I could just go out for a meal for that cost. But it is really good, the meals. And that's what that was like the missing link. I didn't realize how tasty they actually were. And also I hadn't really seen any reviews in it. So I hope you enjoy this review. So another couple of points I wanted to go through before we get into the taste test was that the whole delivery service and ordering service was top notch, like probably better than any of the other ones I've tried before. So I'll show you now. When you go onto ordering it online, it's so easy. There's like pictures, there's so many reviews as well, and that's really good. And they actually incentivize you to leave reviews. So they give you $5 credit if you review the meals that you've purchased from them every week. I find it really helpful to read reviews, so I'm really happy that they have those reviews. They also have loads of photos of all the different meals, and yeah, it's overall just a really easy to use website. And then in terms of the delivery process, I got multiple texts, emails. Once it was actually dropped off at my house, they also sent a follow-up email with photos of where they've put the box outside your front door, which would be really helpful for someone who lived in an apartment building. If, you know, say for example, it's hard to find your front door and maybe it was dropped off at someone else's door, you'd be able to see where it was dropped off so you could go find it. Or if you have any like dispute and you lose it, you know, you have that evidence there that they've emailed you of where it was dropped off, and if it went missing or something like that. I just think it's a really, really, really good practice, and I have rarely seen that before, and I really like that about it. I also got a text after it had been delivered. And then once I opened up the package, I was really, really, really excited to see that the actual packaging itself is recyclable, because in previous meal prep delivery things that I've had, it's always been in like this foil packaging, which isn't recyclable, whereas this one is. I can just put it straight in my recycle bin, which is really cool. And yeah, I just really love that it's super eco-friendly. The other thing I wanted to mention was that it's literally probably the healthiest meal prep delivery service I've ever seen. They don't use any pesticides. All, like literally 100% of the food they use is certified organic, which is crazy. Like, to go out and even buy certified organic fruit and veg is kind of hard where I live in particular, and you know, expensive as well. So the fact that everything they put in their meals is certified organic is pretty cool. They also are completely preservative free. So I feel like in some of the other meal preps I've had, they might have had some preservatives in them, which this one doesn't have. And honestly, the food tastes so fresh, so I really don't know how they do it. They must make it like the day they send it out or something, because the food is just so fresh and tasty. And they're obviously completely vegan, so similar to Solara. That was one of the points I really liked about Solara, is that all the meals are vegan, so you just have so much choice if you are vegan or plant-based yourself, which is awesome. And also everything is oil-free, gluten-free, and refined sugar-free. So if those are things that you are interested in or passionate about, obviously this meal prep delivery service is going to be great for you. Personally, I don't really restrict oil or gluten that much, but I do like to eat refined sugar-free, so I was really happy about that. And yeah, I think that's all of the things I wanted to go through. Oh yeah, the other thing is that you can tell the owners of this business are really passionate, because they give you this little sheet which just talks a little bit about their mission and about the food that they include and why it's so good for you. And one of the quotes they have on here is "Let food be thy medicine," which I love that quote. But yeah, they basically talk all about their mission. They're trying to inspire people and facilitate people to have healthy, conscious and abundant lives. Their team is really passionate about health and the preservation of the planet, so they're also really eco-friendly, which I love. And honestly, like I just can't say enough good stuff about this company, and this is totally not sponsored. Like, I just think it's honestly a really good company. The food is really, really good. And yeah, let's just jump straight into the reviews of the different meals that I had. So first up, I had the Texan chili beans with lime cilantro rice. This meal, I heated up in the microwave and I thought this meal was good. I would rate it a solid 7 out of 10 because it definitely was good, but I added some of my own avocado to it, and that's kind of what made the dish. So I did think it was lacking avocado, but obviously you can't really put avocado in meal prep because then when you heat that up in the microwave, it goes gross. So I understand why they didn't put avocado in, but it definitely needs the avocado to kind of complete the meal for me. I also would probably like to see a few more vegetables in this dish. I just think it was slightly lacking in that, but otherwise the overall flavor was really yummy. The only reason why I kind of rated it a 7, which is a bit lower, was because it just wasn't out of this world, but it was really good. It tasted really fresh. The ingredients tasted really healthy and yummy, and yeah, that one gets a solid 7 out of 10. Now, onto the second meal I tried, and I honestly didn't think I would like this one that much, but this was probably my favorite meal out of the whole haul that I got. This was the olive and white bean pasta. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how good this sauce was. It was just so creamy, but at the same time, it felt kind of light. And I don't know, it just tasted so healthy, but also so rich and decadent at the same time. And it's very rare that you get something that tastes so rich and creamy and delicious, but it also feels nourishing and healthy. So that's why I just love this one so much. And the olives, there was like probably around 8 to 10 olives, which is like a good serving of olives. And they were all like the best olives I've ever had. They were so like juicy and big. And yeah, they were just really, really good. I would highly recommend this meal. Like, I didn't think I was gonna like it that much because honestly, whenever I've had pasta from like a meal prep place, it's usually been one of my least favorite ones. This one, 10 out of 10 would recommend, was delicious. All right, so the next one I had was the Tuscan white bean and kale soup. I actually think that this soup has either the same or like a very similar sauce to the pasta from the previous day, and I really, really, really loved it. So this one gets a 10 out of 10 as well because it was just so tasty. I had it with a piece of toast as well because I just wanted a bit more sustenance to the meal because this was kind of a slightly lower calorie meal. So I did add in a piece of toast, which is really, really yum. And yeah, this is a great lunchtime meal when you're wanting something a little bit lighter, but at the same time, really delicious and creamy and satisfying. And yeah, 10 out of 10 for this one as well. It was so good. All right, now onto the brownie. So I did heat this up in the microwave and I think it did say best served cold, so I probably shouldn't have heated up in the microwave, but it was pretty good heated up in the microwave. But then I actually had it the next day cold and it did taste better cold. So I definitely recommend just having this one cold. I feel like the flavors were kind of lost a little bit when it was heated up, whereas when it was cold, it had that really rich flavor of cocoa or cacao, however you want to say it. And it was really, really good. I rated this one a 8 out of 10 because it was just slightly not sweet enough for my palate. And I think I actually have quite a, I don't like super sweet things anyway. So I feel like for most people, this would be not sweet enough. So I would probably recommend to the company to add a little bit more sweetener in there if they can, but I do know that they are refined sugar-free, so they probably just use dates or something like that to sweeten it. So they might just need a little bit more to just make it that a little bit more, you know, decadent and sweet and delicious. But it was really good and I rated it a solid 8 out of 10. All right, onto the shepherd's pie. This one I heated up in the microwave, and I honestly think looking back that I should have heated up in the oven. There is an option to heat things up in the oven, on the stovetop, or in the microwave, and I do think this one would be better heated up in the oven. I just didn't have that much time because I'd gotten home from work and I was really hungry, and so I just zapped it in the microwave. But I do recommend to do this one in the oven because it just tasted a little bit stodgy, the mashed potato layer. Like, it just, I don't know, I just think it would be better if it was in the oven. Then it kind of would have got a bit like flaky on top, and that would have been really yum. But I'm gonna rate this one a 7.5 out of 10 because the flavor was there. Like the lentils and the whole flavor of it was really, really good. It was just that mash on top that kind of tasted a bit stodgy, but I think that was because of the heating it up in the microwave. So giving this one a 7.5 out of 10, and that's kind of conservative. Like it probably could get an 8 or 9 because honestly the flavor was really, really, really good. Alrighty, onto the Satay Tofu Stir Fry. So this one I'm gonna rate a 8 out of 10. And my reason for that is that the ingredients taste really fresh, the veggies are really yummy, I really like the base and I love the tofu. The only reason why I didn't get like a 9 or a 10 was because I feel like the satay sauce could have been slightly better. It was very creamy and yummy, but I just think it was missing a bit of a pizzang. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit of chili or a bit of ginger or a bit of something. Like it just was slightly lacking that kind of bang, that like cut through flavor. Like even maybe a bit of like lime juice on top would have done it for me. So yeah, overall it's getting an 8 out of 10. Really good ingredients, really yummy taste. It was very creamy. It just didn't quite have that je ne sais quoi that would lift it up to a 9 or 10. But overall, still a solid 8. Okay, now onto the butter tofu makhani. So I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10 because the flavor here was spot on. It was so tasty. My only thing why it hasn't got a 10 out of 10 was because I feel like I just needed a bit more greens in there. Like there just wasn't much greenery going on. It was, you know, very much all the same color, and I love my vegetables and I just think it needed a few more green vegetables in there, but the flavor was amazing. So 9 out of 10 for that one. Spot on in terms of the flavor. Was very delicious, and I would order it again. I think next time I would just add in some of my own veggies to just kind of bulk it up a bit, add in those greens, then it would be a 10 out of 10 for sure. Alright, on to the African peanut stew, or Afrikaans. I don't know if it's meant to be Afrikaans or African, but anyway, I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Kind of similar to what I was saying with the butter tofu makhani, in that the flavor was pretty good. I would say the flavor wasn't as good as the tofu makhani, so that's why it gets an 8 out of 10 rather than a 9 out of 10. And again, it's just lacking a bit of vegetables. I feel like it just needs something green chucked in there to just kind of like make it a nice complete meal for me personally. I just love having something green in there. But yes, the flavor was good. It wasn't quite as good as the tofu makhani. So yeah, getting a solid 8 out of 10, would eat it again. I just think it needs a little bit of extra veggies in there, and maybe also a little bit of extra pizzang, kind of like what I was saying with the satay tofu stir fry. I think like it's really, really, really good, but it's just missing like a little hit of something to kind of elevate it a bit. But I'm being very picky, and I think as the week went on, I was like more critical of the different meals because I have these high expectations now because the food was so good from the get-go. But yeah, I am being very picky. It gets a solid 8 out of 10. I did definitely enjoy it. I'm not sure if I would order this one again. Like I probably would, but I would maybe add in some like lime on top and like some extra veg. But yeah, it was overall solid 8 out of 10. Alright, so onto the sesame and ginger noodles. This is probably my least favorite out of everything, and it's not that it was bad. I definitely ate the whole thing and I enjoyed it. My favorite part were the veggies for sure. The noodles weren't amazing. I wouldn't probably buy it again because I just didn't love the noodles, and the sauce was good, but I think it definitely needed some more ginger in there because I couldn't really taste the ginger, and I am a ginger fan. I love ginger, so I just needed a little bit more ginger for me. And then I also think it could have done with some tofu or some tempeh or some kind of protein sauce just to give it a bit more texture, variation, and also yeah, I just felt like it was kind of missing like a protein source. So I did add some frozen edamame beans in there, which definitely did help, but I think without the frozen edamame beans it would have just been a bit like not too much going on there. I would have liked to see probably more vegetables, and yeah, the tofu, I think it definitely needs some tofu or tempeh or edamame beans to add in that. So that one is getting a 6.5 rating, but it did taste good. It just wasn't, you know, as high as all the other meals were. But yeah, still good, just not amazing. Alright, on to the final one, the creamy Alfredo. This, guys, honestly, it tastes like mac and cheese, but like a healthy version of mac and cheese in noodle form. It was really, really good. Highly recommend. I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10 because there's really not much to fault with it. Maybe I should give it a 10 out of 10. Okay, 10 out of 10. It's funny that all the things that I liked the most had that kind of creamy sauce. I think they just really, really, really nailed their creamy sauce. I don't know how they do it, but that creamy sauce is honestly to die for. And it was kind of similar to the olive and white bean pasta and the Tuscan white bean kale soup, the sauce that they've used in this last creamy Alfredo. I think this one was slightly more rich, which I really, really liked, but I think, I don't know, do I prefer the olive one? I think I prefer the olive one because I just love olives and it just adds this kind of like savory, not bitter, they're not bitter at all, but just like that saltiness, that's what the umami, I think that's what they call it. Although this one, the creamy Alfredo did have mushrooms in there, which gave it that kind of umami taste as well. So I guess it's just like, if you prefer mushrooms, get the Alfredo. If you prefer olives, get the olive and white bean one. But they were both amazing, both 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's it for the reviews of the specific foods. I really hope this gave you a bit of clarity if you're thinking about ordering this yourself. I would definitely recommend trying it out. And if you are going to try it out, make sure to use my code. It's just SaskaCoot2 to get $25 off your first order, which is actually a really good discount. Like, haven't seen many other companies that give you $25 off your first order. Like, it's pretty good. So yeah, definitely use that code if you want to. This was totally not sponsored at all. Anyone that signs up to this company can actually get their own personalized $25 discount code as like a referral program to give to their friends and family. So, you know, if you sign up to this and you use my code, then you can actually get your own code once you've signed up and, you know, tell your friends about it. And even, you know, you can earn some credit towards your next order as well, because when you give $25, you receive $25 back. So say for example, you use my code, which is SaskaCoot2, then I would receive $25 in credit towards my next order, and so would you. So it's pretty good at the program they've got. You know, you're winning, your friend's winning, they're probably losing out, the company. They're losing $50 if they're giving two people $25. But I mean, it's great for us as consumers. So yeah, overall, love the company, love their vibe, love the food. Obviously not every meal was, you know, my perfect meal, but on the whole, I definitely enjoyed this meal delivery service more than the previous ones that I've had. So I liked it more than Solara and more than my Muscle Chef, to be completely honest. And this is one that I would actually order again. So if I have another busy work week coming up, I would definitely order this again because it just all tasted so fresh. And I think that's what some of the other meal prep delivery services are lacking, that freshness. But this literally tastes like it was cooked on the day. Like, it's so fresh. The only one that probably didn't was the shepherd's pie. That kind of felt like it was made a couple of days ago, but it still was really good and really tasty. So yeah, on the whole, this was amazing. Would recommend. 10 out of 10 for like 3 of the dishes. Most of them were really, really good. There was only like 1 or 2 that I probably wouldn't order again, but everything else I would order again, and it was really tasty, really fresh. You know that they're using really good quality organic produce, which is just amazing. And although it is slightly more expensive than some other meal delivery services out there, I do think it's worth it. And I think, yeah, I think it's honestly worth the money and that it's really good. So try it out for yourself, use my discount code. I hope this video has helped you gain a bit of clarity, and let me know in the comments down below if you are going to try it out, or if you want to see any other review videos like this. It's quite fun for me because I get to try out new things. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. If you've got any ideas for upcoming videos, let me know. And with all that said, I hope you guys have the best day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video, which is going to be a really fun one. It has maybe something to do with the Friends reunion coming up. You'll have to wait and see. Bye!